talk. Because if you are sleeping under the bridge, you cannot be laughing laughing at someone that is living in face me and face you. So let's not even go there. The only people that can brag today, if you're a Madrid fan, holla at your girl.
Okay.
All right, so we'll be talking about the Champions League. We'll also touch on the Liverpool VAR saga. My goodness, it's like every day it gets worse. We'll touch on that a little bit. Then we'll talk about what's happening in China. Carlos Alcaraz has a Yannick Sinner problem. We'll talk about that. We'll also touch a little bit on the Nigeria friendly, but we'll do only those things after Omatseye has told us how to be a part of the locker room.
Now, to be part of the locker room this morning, the 4th of October 2023, you need to pick up your phone and send us a WhatsApp message to the number 0809 4440981. Once again, 0809 4440981. We'd also would like our YouTube community and family to know we will carry them along as we move inside the locker room. So be sure to find us on youtube.com/smooth981 FM Lagos. You see us there, so just be there, leave your messages also. Be sure to also leave us a like and a comment on X at smooth981FM. Still don't know your X, right? That one used to be Twitter. That's the X now. But anyway, back to you, Tega.
All right. So, what's first? Let's start with the headlines, and then we'll go to the first story.
Let's begin on the menu this morning. Iwobi, Omerou.
Struggle. Yannick, Carlos Alcaraz led in. There was none, but he did. And so that was the beginning of the problem. Arsenal was now lopsided in the attack. But then again, they didn't play their best football on the day. And some days, if you're a good team, you get away with it. But on some other days, you don't get away with it. I'd also like to talk about David Raya because, Mikel Arteta brought him in. You think he was octopus Raya. He'd save everything that was coming at him. And check, wow. This guy was the one that made the pass that gave away the first goal for Lons to score, to equalize. So at the end of the day, a lot of questionable decisions from Mikel Arteta. He can argue about sometimes you win, sometimes you lose in football, but this loss, he kind of orchestrated it from team selection. All right. So on that note, we want to hear your thoughts. What do you think? Having seen the drama between David Raya and Aaron Ramsdale, what do you think about Mikel Arteta's decision to swap goalkeepers, and of course this injury to Saka, how badly the numbers to send your messages to are
0809 440981 will be where we get the message. Once again, 0809 4440981. And also on YouTube, we're expecting to get messages there on youtube.com/smooth981FM. The green light for traffic to flow by is just here. We'll be right back after this timeout. It's still the locker room on Smooth.
Specially created Providus Bank for you to take care of your daily experiences.
Is it good?
At Providus Bank, we believe that banking should be all about you and your business and how to get you to the next level. If you do not already have YouTube, please speak with our business concierge on 0700 77 684 387 or email businessconcierge@providusbank.com to switch to a future forward banking experience.
Okay, it's back.
Providus Bank. Future forward banking.
I sure want to know.
I don't see.
Oh, okay.
I will sleep.
After 3 days, if body no tranga, go see doctor. Now, Shalina Healthcare Limited, them market am.
Smooth. Hey, what's going on, people? This is Uzi Quendo. You are now listening to Smooth Breakfast.
We're Smooth 98.1 FM is still the locker room, and I've got Tega Onojiafe, the princess, still with me, breaking all of the sporting news across Europe, and still more to come. Still staying in England, and Tega.
All right, let's take messages first. Why are you rushing? We told people to tell us what they think about Mikel Arteta's decision on David Raya and then the Saka injury. So let's take it. This is Ibrahim Hassan on YouTube, and he says, Ateta has Ateta always has a way to show how naive he can be in a game. And personnel management. Good morning. Good morning to you, Ibrahim. Thank you for that message. I'm sending your messages to the locker room 981 on YouTube, so that we can read them. And we're asking, what do you think about Mikel Arteta's decision to swap goalkeepers, number one? And then how badly do you think Saka's injury would affect Arsenal? Their messages here now. Let's read these messages.
Let's go.
All right, so we go Victor, to WhatsApp now, and we start with Victor.
Surely Boys FC would have gotten a result against Sao Tome and Principe Sef.
Hi, Victor. Victor, if in this locker, your mouth is bad. All right, this is Zikolo.
It appears VAR is simply synonymous with fraud for Arsenal. As for Arsenal, I think Arteta attached too much sentiment to his selection and substitution. That might be his biggest undoing. It was obvious that Saka's injury was coming. He should have rested the guy.
All right, Mayowa from Bagada says.
Mayowa says, this VAR issue is simple, but these referees keep making it look like a big deal.
Oh.
They have the whistle. They are supposed to make the match equal, balanced, and watchable, but they are killing the game in grand style. As for Arsenal have been farmed by the farmers. I think there was a heavy confusion between I am not understanding Fabio, Raya, and the Farmers League. I hope they'll turn up against City, who seem to be in a revenge mode.
Yeah, we'll talk about City.
As for Man United, he says, oh, na, what's my name?
Oh, na, what's my name? You don't even know the song. Leave this studio. Let's take one message before we continue the stories. This one is from AY from Omerou.
It's always amusing to me how VAR always seems to be entangled in one controversy or the other in English football. I smell something sinister like match fixing.
Let's not go there. But yeah, this in fact, it's when VAR came to England that they started struggling. Let's get this message from Mohammed. He says,
what a wonderful Champions League result from the England team. Chelsea and Liverpool that are not playing in the UCL will banter all these local champions, especially the fake London team. Tega, I told you that
Ben 10 is a fraud. There's nothing they have not called everything hard. All right, let's go to the next story.
Still in England now, Manchester United can still reach Champions League knockout phase. That's Ten Hag speaking after Tuesday's 3-2 defeat by Galatasaray, leaving them bottom of Group A.
Tough one for Manchester United. Game started out really well for them. They looked like they were going on to win the match. Starts with Højlund scoring a goal. I just thank God for him, because people have been questioning whether he was a good striker or not, without looking at the entirety of the problem that Manchester as a team has issues, and so sometimes it could affect the form of different players. But he scores a goal, and before we could blink. You know how it is. Manchester give it and Manchester take it away. They consider the goal very quickly. And then they score another goal. And again, before we blink, they concede a goal pretty quickly. And that's part of the problem. So defensively, they're giving away goals. Offensively, they are not scoring enough goals. And then there's a red card in it. I think Casemiro made a horrible choice to make that tackle, knowing that even positionally he shouldn't have been making that tackle. He was already disadvantaged behind the players. He makes a tackle, gives away a penalty. Icardi steps up to take penalty, misses, but that giving away the penalty causes Manchester United to go down to 10 men, and the 10 men couldn't keep up with Galatasaray. So a tough one. You could argue that it was the red card that made them lose the match, but ultimately they gave away 2 cheap goals very quickly after they scored their own goal. So you can't say it was the red card that was the issue. It was the entire game management.
Because I've seen 9-man team.
Hold on to their lead. So at the end of the day, every Ten Hag, I don't know how long he's going to last here. People don't even trust the Glaciers to do the needful. They can't they don't. Sorry, let me not say they can't manage. They don't seem to be able to manage a team well. So I'm not sure they're going to wake up in the morning and just fire every Ten Hag without the fans really revolting and rebelling. So it's a tough place that Manchester United is in because nothing seems to be working for them at this point in time. It looks like the job has swallowed up Eric Ten Hag. All the changes that we expected him to bring, he's struggling. So I don't know how Manchester United is going to come from that. But if you know how Manchester United can turn this around, tell us. The numbers to send your WhatsApp messages to are
0809 444 Be sure to also be part of the YouTube club there and youtube.com/smooth981 FM Lagos.
All right, so let's take the next story before we take your message.
Well, we're still staying in England as Al knows Newcastle must be perfect against PSG.
All right, big one. Newcastle taking on PSG. Newcastle is playing a Champions League match in their home for the first time in 20 years. Chai, some people were born, they didn't see Newcastle play Champions League. But I get to see it today. And I remember the very first match, we said it was going to be really tough for Newcastle. They sailed through that. I think they can also sail through a PSG side. Yes, PSG seem like they're slowly coming together under Luis Enrique, and after the sale of Neymar and Lionel Messi, they seem like they're a better fit team, a more complemented team than the Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe team that was top heavy with no midfield. They've put together some good results and some good displays, but it's still a team that if Newcastle puts their head down and with the great atmosphere they're going to have from their fans, they can come away with at least a draw. What's interesting to me is that they're playing this big match, but Trippier is just happy that his son is going to be working out with Mbappe. That's his own. He's just like, my son is going to be mascot and he's working out with Mbappe. I hope he doesn't get carried away with celebrating that he doesn't do his job on the pitch. But it looks like a game that Newcastle can get away with a result. That's not to say they will, but they sure can play. They sure can match PSG the way that the PSG team is right now.
And that takes us to Spain, where Barcelona, Xavi Hernandez is taking things in his stride with the Spanish champions as he prepares for his to celebrate the 100th game as the manager at Porto in the Champions League on Wednesday.
All right, so FC Porto is taking on Barcelona, and that's Xavi's 100th game. Now, Xavi has had a good season, really, so far. Yes, there have been some games where he has labored a little bit to get the ball in the back of the net, but his team is creating chances. They're playing fluid football. The problem is also the same from last season. Defensively, they are a little fragile. If Ter Stegen is not pulling off some wonderful saves, then they're going to give up a lot of goals. So it's a good game to watch if you if you are looking for a game that is open, a game with free-flowing football, a game with goals. I think that Xavi Hernandez has the team to get him his 100, the win in his 100th game in charge. But defensively, they just seem to give up too much for me. Too much. All right, so one more story, and then we go to the message.
That takes us to Napoli and unlucky Meritans Madrid win at Napoli.
I would say it was unlucky Valverde because the way he took that shot. So the game was tied at 2-2. Brilliant goals all the way by Real Madrid, and I would say again, Jude Bellingham is doing the great work. You know, he comes into a new team. There's so much hype, and he's on the score sheet every 2 market days. So it's not like...
Would that be on the K market day now or which of them would...
Both market days he's scoring. So it's a good time for him. But the game is tied at 2-2. Real Madrid is pressing, they have possession, and Valverde, as usual, from distance, whips in this heavy shot. Now, for me, I think it's so unfortunate that is an own goal. Because the thought to take the shot, the accuracy of the shot hits the bar, hits the back of the goalkeeper, then goes in the back of the net. Exactly. So the brilliance in the shot alone should have been beautiful enough to score the goal. But Real Madrid will take 3 points. Whoever's name is written there as the goal scorer is none of Ancelotti's business. Ancelotti's one is that he went to play Champions League game and he didn't lose. But it was a good display, and it was a good match to watch. Napoli again still struggling a little bit, but they played a little better. They just met a better opponent yesterday. So tough one for them, but great one for Carlo Ancelotti and his Real Madrid boys. All right, we asked a question earlier. If you know the solution to Manchester United's problem, tell us on WhatsApp, and we're waiting. The numbers to send your messages to are
0944400981. Pile of them waiting. So
all right, so there's a pile of them waiting. So let's start with the first message.
Ateta made mistake by that substitute, which affected the game's flow.
All right,
you alluded to that earlier on too. And the VAR, this one is coming from Mayowa Shadari, says the VAR that they use in the UCL and FIFA World Cup is the best, but EPL like to court controversy, so they won't use it.
Okay, so I know what you mean. Is that AI that they use to determine offside? Now they use it at the World Cup, and a lot of other leagues are still using it. But that was not the problem with what happened there. Like I said, VAR eventually saw their mistake. It was the fact that they decided to carry on.
30 seconds we play. Let's just move on.
Let's just move on. A whole goal. All right, so let's take this message
from Lagos says, luckily, international break is around the corner, so Saka can rest. I don't like how Arteta is sidelining Ramsdale, but will be bashed again if they won that game. But Arsenal have not really been convincing this season because of the midfield, and Man United can turn things if they just keep things simple. Don't overcomplicate, except senior players are doing this purposely to shame Ten Hag. I hope Newcastle beat PSG. They are an unserious club. Shea Mbappe wanted to sit on the bench for the whole season, Abby. He would have lost out big time. That's what the man from Lagos said.
All right.
And Tayo comes up. Tayo says, Ten Hag is saying Man United can qualify, and I agree. They can qualify out of Champions League. And Onana giving me premium joy with his Superman antics. The Maguire strain is strong in.
All right, so Edgar says the Glaziers have to go, I beg, along with Maguire. It's torturous watching Manchester United play. Good morning. All right, good morning.
There's a big E from Big E comes in from K2. That's K2 now. Now wow. Them since Arsenal has been winning, we did not hear good praise from people. Truthfully, bad decisions on Mikel Arteta backfired. At least we better pass them, Man U, and who are always bleeding with loss home and away. Theater of dream is now theater of drama and nightmare.
Oh, wow. This message is from Martin from Lekki. He says, I'm so happy for Newcastle for their first ever Champions League match at home. More kudos. And Ibukun comes in to say this.
It says, okay, good morning. Okay, then it goes on. For Man United to improve, we have to tighten the defense. No going forward for the
defensive midfielder.
We need energy and legs in the midfield. Hannibal can do the job and stop playing out from the back. It's clear we don't know how to. Ibuku from K2.
All right.
That's how we throw
in.
So
Victor Shum says, how can good football and goal be disallowed because of an inch of offside play? Casey Michael says.
And then he drops this one. It says, Arteta loves experiments. I don't know if he's a science student. Why always picking stupid selection? It cost us that game.
AGK says, Manchester United don't have any problems. They should look at the glass as half full instead of half empty. They should check well and try to drop to Europa League. But if Sevilla enters there, Otilo. And we take this final message from Victor Shehu. He says, how can Manchester United score 5 goals in the last UCL game and concede 7? That's just poor defensively. And on that note, we'll say thank you for sending in your messages to WhatsApp, and thank you for sending your messages into YouTube and watching us on YouTube. And thank you for joining us on the locker room. Let's do this again on Friday after Liverpool would have played in UCL, and Chelsea fans will be doing nothing but twiddling their thumbs at home. Yeah. All right. On that note, goodbye, and Omashe.
All right. Thank you so much, Tega, for your time. And that's a wrap on the locker room this morning. My name is Omatseye Atsenuwa. Good morning.